because, like I said, I was dating somebody else.
It was like just total tunnel vision, straight to Demi. I'm gonna have a long conversation with this, beautiful stranger.
Hi guys.
Hi, good morning.
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back.
So this video, it's gonna be a good one. As you can tell in the title, it is a story time video, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the story of how we met. We're gonna tell you guys how we met. We figured we would, let you get to know us a little better.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. It's kind of a cool story. So, I kind of want to tell it from my perspective, and then you can tell it from yours, or like we'll kind of go back and forth between our perspectives, because obviously we're two different people, we have two different perspectives. So, back in school, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Over 5 years ago.
Yeah.
We both went to the Southwest Institute of Healing Arts for our own careers. If you didn't know that, that's where we went to school. Obviously, that's where we met. So back in school, we were both required to take a nutrition class, which was great. I wasn't super excited about it. The weird thing about this class was, and I'll get into the tea here in a minute. Yes, there's some juicy details to this story, but the weird thing about this class is that it was so big. There were so many people that signed up for this class that they had to actually break it into two different classes, two different teachers, and it was alphabetized. So it was like, I don't even know, A to something, like A to G, and then like G, H to Z or whatever last names go into each classes. So for the first day, I went into the only room I thought was the nutrition class, and I sat down, and the teacher was like, did you check in? Did you sign in? You have to sign in, because it's how you have to sign in, like every class, just so they know that you're there, and you get the credits or whatever. So I went to look at my name to sign in, and it wasn't there, and I was like, crap, they screwed something up and I'm not on the roster. And the teacher informed me that there was another class, that's a nutrition class. So with that being said, that was interesting. So I did head into the other class to find my name, obviously. All right, now for the juice. I was dating somebody at the time. I had a boyfriend, and so we went into nutrition thinking that we were gonna get into the same class together. However, he was put in the class that I was originally in, and I was put into another class. So I walked in kind of sad because I wanted to have the class with the guy I was dating. So I walked in, and and I want you to tell this part, because this part is like one of my favorite parts of the story, because it was kind of amazing.
Oh, you were already sitting down.
Oh, I was?
Yeah, I walked in.
See,
so
this is why we need two people.
I was really serious about the herbalism program, which is what I went to school for. I was also working like two full-time jobs and a part-time job, and I didn't have a car. So I was definitely, long story short, I was running late, and Demi was sitting at the table when I walked in. And I'm not this type of, I wasn't this type of person, I'm still kind of not really this type of person where I just start talking to people, kind of when I walk in, but I walk in and I just started talking.
You sat down at the table.
I sat down at the table and I just started a conversation with Demi, and I just started talking, and about whatever, and anything.
He was super excited.
I didn't even realize that one of my best friends was literally sitting right next to me.
Right next to where he sat down.
It was like just total tunnel vision, straight to Demi. I'm gonna have a long conversation with this, beautiful stranger.
He didn't even notice his best friend was there.
Right.
Who is Johnny, and we love him so much because he's a big part of why we are together now. He's one of
I think
our
my
really
shins
good
are still bruised from him kicking me under the table, telling me to ask her out.
So that was a whirlwind. It was kind of crazy because, that moment, and I know this is going to sound cheesy, but that moment when you see somebody, you meet somebody, and it's not like your life flashes before your eyes, but it's almost like energetic moments in time flash before your eyes, and you get these feelings and these emotions inside, like the pit of your stomach and your heart. And my heart was screaming and singing at the same time because, like I said, I was dating somebody else. But
And
like
I
immediately,
wasn't dating at that time.
I immediately was drawn to Michael and like the energies and everything. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is intense. What the heck is going on? It was so intense. So that was kind of a brief synopsis of how we met.
Yeah.
I continued to date, if you guys are wondering, I continued to date the guy for not very long after. Probably the entirety of the nutrition class, which was really hard because Michael and I...
No, it was actually it was like 2.5, 3 months.
Was it?
Yeah.
My memory's not great. I live in moment to moment, so my memory's just a lot of fun. But throughout the entire nutrition class, Michael and I got to know each other and we became really good friends. And it was just, I don't know, I was excited to go to that class. It wasn't my favorite class, but because Michael was there, I literally got butterflies every time I would go to that class. I get so excited. And like he was saying, he wasn't even trying to date somebody. So it was so interesting how the universe just kind of put us together.
I didn't have any time. I mean, like I said, I was,
He was working like 80
working
hours a week.
And
it was crazy.
Yeah, it was a challenging time in my life, and I was just super focused on making money and getting my education, and that was it,
I just love the coincidences of life. I love how, like, I don't know, there's just so many, that there weren't so many students, the classes wouldn't have been broken up. My boyfriend at the time and I would have been in the same class together, and I definitely wouldn't have been able to hang out or talk to Michael like I was. Of course, I mean, I was dating somebody, so I wasn't like doing anything wrong, but I was trying to get to know him because we were friends. We were becoming really close friends, and it was just kind of a whirlwind, and it was amazing. And it's one of my favorite stories. I think another favorite story and favorite memory is the first time I met his family. And I'm just gonna stick this in there because it's hilarious, but Michael and I were actually just hanging out a lot, like a lot, but we weren't
dating.
Yeah, we weren't dating. We didn't want to claim that we were dating yet, but we were hanging out a lot, and Michael was just kind of this light in my life. My boyfriend and I were donezo at this point. But so anyways, Michael asked if I wanted to go meet his family, and of course I was nervous, like really nervous, and he's like, don't be nervous, you're gonna be fine. And so before we went in there, we discussed that we, we're just friends, and we weren't going to tell his family that we were dating.
Well, furthermore, my family came into town, so it's not like my family lives here.
No. Which some of you may already know that.
Right, but I mean, it was, it's like...
It was kind of a big deal for him to invite me to this dinner.
Right.
And the whole time while I met his family, and it was the most amazing experience, his family is, I don't even have words, they're seriously amazing. But they were laughing the entire time. They were like, yeah, right, there's no way they're not dating. They were totally meant for each other. And I remember Max, Michael's mom's husband, saying, the way that she looks at you, Michael, like that's how I knew, the way that she looks at you. And I did, I was just enamored by him and everything about him. But yeah, so we're still together 5 years later.
A lot of life later.
A lot of life later, a lot of lessons, a lot of things, a lot of hardships, but we're still together and we're so in love, and I'm just so happy and blessed that we get to be sharing our story here on YouTube. And now you guys know the story of how we met, and the juicy details of, the title.
Right.
You see. Do you want to add anything else to that?
Here's a quick one. Should we tell the story of Bajra Vietnam?
What?
So part of what I did
I don't even know.
was I was bartending, and I would close down the restaurant on a Friday night, so I'd be there until like 2 or 3, and then I would wake up and be at work again at like 10:15, and I would work all throughout the rest of the day, and then I would come back and do it on Sunday. And this is just at one spot, and that's I clumped my hours into this place kind of in that time period. So the first time we hung out, she texted me.
Late.
And
it was really late. I was hanging out with one of my friends.
Yeah, it was it was on that Friday, where it's like I already get like no sleep, or got like no sleep on the Friday to Saturday, and I told her, I was like, all right, I'll hang out, I'll drive out there, which was like an hour drive.
I literally lived in Maricopa, which if you guys don't know where Maricopa is, it's in BFE. It's really far away, especially from Phoenix, downtown Phoenix, which is where Michael lived at the time.
Right. So I was like, all right, if I get off at 12 o'clock.
Before 12.
Yeah.
You said before 12.
Before 12. I'll drive out there and, you know, we can hang out. So I got off at 11:59.
So he texted me.
You know, it was kind of just like, I really wanted to hang out, but it was also like, I'm going to be so exhausted, but I just had to see her, you know, so that was like our first.
Yeah, I drove all the way out, and I remember him calling me, he's like, I think I'm lost. I don't know where I'm going.
I didn't really know that it was that far. I had never been that far. I had only been like north.
It's so far away.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
But he made the
totally
drive, and we hung out and we talked. We listened to music until, what, 5 in the morning? And then he went home, slept for an hour, and went back to work,
Right.
and did it all over again. But yeah, oh, I forgot about that bit. I'm glad that you brought that up, because that was literally like the pivotal point in our relationship. Because from that moment on, we were inseparable. We hung out all the time. We were literally inseparable. But
yeah.
Oh, I love you. Alright guys, we appreciate you hanging out with us and tuning in to this week's video and our story time and all of the juicy details of how we met. But yeah.
Until next time, guys.
Until next time. Bye.
Bye.